The Diablo 2 Challenge Dojo has finally summoned me to experience the ultimate pain, a punch-only run. Can my Paladin prove himself and beat the game? Or will this finally be the one that beats us off? so here we are, once again. There's only one great boxer, Iron Mike, although I did just watch The Four Kings on Netflix, which I really recommend. Just a golden era of boxing. Heavyweight boxing in the 90s in England. So here we go. Let's run across the bridge. I'll just tell you the rules of the run. It's extensive. It's punch only. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes when I do this, I forget like how difficult some of the previous runs have been, like not being able to go to town and not be able to use magic items. But without those restrictions, the only thing I need to do is just take my time punching. Now I start off on players 8 as I normally do, and yeah, it's actually pretty tough. My damage being 1 to 2. But we can have a look now with our first skill point, what we want to be doing. So prayer is interesting. I've never used it before, but one of the things they've got now is the synergy with cleansing and meditation means it doesn't actually cost mana to cast. God, I can't talk today. Might. I mean, we're probably going to have to get might, right? 1 to 3. Wow, massive. Okay, yeah, we definitely needed might. So might is just that first offensive aura that unlocks all of the others. So with this kind of damage now, we're laughing. Blessed Aim, I'm not sure about. It's got interesting passive. Concentration, I don't see that being that useful. Fanaticism, I think, is the one we'll end up with, just for the increased attack speed. Sacrifice is an interesting one. It does damage to self, but we're doing such little damage. I wonder how that'll work. Now, someone recommended in a previous video using no pickup as a command, and that stops me, what means I need to press Alt in order to actively pick things up, rather than just as I'm wandering around just picking it up by mistake. Because I've got that empty weapon slot, that could be quite frustrating. But who needs a weapon when you're doing 1 to 3 damage? So players 8, Gargantuan Beasts do actually take a while, but we've got some skill points to spend. I think let's pump Vitality quite early on, so we're going to be engaged in quite long protracted battles. And that's part of the reason why I want to get prayer as well. That heals +2. It's frustrating at the beginning because it does have that mana cost. But the progression is quite good. I mean, at every level we get another healing per 4 seconds. But importantly, the 2 skills further down the tree help unlock it. It's just a general aura. So we don't have to pay that mana cost. We can just enjoy having it active. So sacrifice. I like it, and I'm going to give it a go. And actually, wow, look at that. 3 to 7 damage now we're doing. So sacrifice should be doing damage to myself, but I think the damage is so low that actually it's pretty good. Could this be broken? Some decent rare items there as well. It's always quite nice when you get a few decent drops to begin with. And actually, with this kind of damage, even at players 8, this is pretty easy. Unfortunately, more points doesn't necessarily mean more damage, so we might have to be investing quite a lot into sacrifice to actually boost that damage up. But the den's cleared, so we can get back to town and get another skill point. I think it's probably worth putting more points into strength at this point, just so we can get a lot of those early items that drop. We can equip them all. Sell a lot of the stuff we don't need, and actually that sword is worth pretty decent cash. Throwing knives are just so good at the beginning, they're worth such a huge amount of money. Another level up as we make our way through the cold plains. And again, probably going to be spending a lot of my points on vitality. So looking without sacrifice on our left click, we're still doing 1 to 3, but actually we've got to 4 to 8. Massive 4 to 8. And it wouldn't be one of my runs unless I annoyed some people by using a poison shrine. I don't consider this to be me not punching, because I'm just praying to the shrine. And actually, it doesn't help me too much in terms of experience. I've got about 40% of a level. So 4 to 8 to 4 to 9, and that's with 2 more points from the skill shrine. So, I mean, it feels like we've maxed out on damage already. We found some 2-socket ringmail, which is always a really nice find. It's one of the best armors you can get, or it is the best armor you can get in terms of defense. I know it does slow you down slightly, but it's always worth stacking defense in Act 1. into the underground passage. Stamina potion. pro meta skills there. And I'm pretty comfortable with the damage that we're doing. I know this is early Act 1, but I thought we'd really be struggling already without things like charms, which are going to be really important. And yeah, Paladins are so overpowered with the equipment they can get. So there's a 3-socket shield already, and it's got plus 10 to all resistance. And unfortunately, you do get yourself into some of these difficult situations, getting pinned, because you're just not doing enough damage to really break the mob. And that's why I think prayer is going to be so important. Get ourselves some keys. Keys to the handcuffs in Deckard Cain's massage parlour. And this archer's really annoying. Luckily there's a pretty well-timed level up there. And although this is tough, again, we're still on players 8. It's manageable. But man, that ball is bouncing up and down. So we're taking a lot of damage. And a scepter, that's a bit annoying to find. So you know that's going to be really good. Scepters are generally considered to be the best weapons in Act 1. Because the base damage is so high and you can get some really good mods. Especially for Paladins, man. You get plus 3 to might or something, you're laughing. Now it's getting to the point where these are actually taking quite a long time to kill. And this is sped up for your viewing pleasure. But it was not sped up for my punching pleasure. I've got to remember, I need to actually hold Alt to pick up gold. Luckily, these melee guys are probably the preferable at this point. As opposed to like the Shaman with the huge packs. And I even decided to stop at Griswold and have a boxing match. Some pretty boring rings at the beginning. I'm not really sure what the Andariel fight's going to be like. Whether we're going to be, you know, really suffering with the poison. So things like reduced poison length. Ugh. And with a hit 4 to 14 damage. So big news. It's still very poor, but it's not impossible. And that's the best thing. You know, we don't want to be stuck at this point already. Now the tower is great for 2 reasons. Loads of packs of creatures, which means we're getting level ups over and over again. Starts putting some points into dexterity. We've unlocked Blessed Aim. Now whether we'll use it or not, I'm not sure. Because actually at this point, with the dexterity we've got, we're hitting pretty much 95% of the time. But with the Might Aura, we get that 1 more damage. And it's at this point I'm thinking, actually for 1 more damage, maybe Prayer was better? Finally we got a +1 max damage ring. And wow, look at that. That's 4 more damage from a +1 max damage ring. That's huge. Yep, this is good. So that's going to be an absolutely crucial suffix and prefix to find, is that plus to max, plus to min damage. And we're lucky at this point to have found it already. Tough fight this one, I've got to say. Take an arrow to the knee there. But those archer heroes, especially in the tower, can be absolutely lethal to an early level character. And you can see when it's busy, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I really need to do a run at some point where I can kill more than 1 creature at the same time. For my own sanity at this point. But the other senseis at the Challenge Dojo refuse to allow me. So I was a bit concerned. She was actually doing quite a lot of damage. Oof. And that's the tower. That's a great find actually. Tal is what we want. Tal and Neth, always the ones you want to look for at the beginning. Second run here, and we've got 2 Eth runes. Man, rich. So here we are at a pretty decent junction. We've got an opportunity to unlock cleansing there, which I'm going to do just because I do like using prayer when I'm not in battle. And now with cleansing, there's no mana cost, and we do actually get some reduction in terms of poison length, which for Andariel might be useful. It's not useful, shall we say. And actually, finally, at 50 strength, we get +1 damage. So I wonder if 50 is the cutoff, or should I say the break point? So 50, 100, 150. Well, that's going to be rough. So we're at 5 to 20 damage now. We've got sacrifice at level 10. Wow. But at level 10, we're not doing too much damage to ourselves. It's 5% damage to self. We've got that attack rating boost and damage boost. And our first charm that might actually have some utility. 1 to 2 cold damage. Frustrating that it's the size that it is, but that is what she said. So I'm having a bit of debate. I mean, here I'm like, oh, what's this +1 strength? Is that going to give me another damage? I'm getting a bit carried away, I think. And I was so excited to gain that +1 damage, I stopped maybe putting more into strength than I should do at this point. +3 sacrifice, just to wind me up. There's a +3 to sacrifice scepter there as well, which would be really useful. And the Neph is kind of what I was looking for. That's the only other rune I was looking for. Just at this point, I'm still getting experience running the Countess. I don't have to come back to get some of these early runes. And here I am with some of my stuff. Some boxing bags. And actually just putting 5 points into dexterity at this point ups the block from 17 to 23. And 6 to 23 damage is pretty good. So we've got that 2-socket ring mail. I'm going to wind up everyone by making stealth in that. It slows you down by 5% because it's slightly heavier armour. But you can get 25% faster run walk. It's really, really useful in terms of the fast hit recovery at this point. And for Andariel, it's good just to get that 30% poison resist. The 6 dexterity is actually pretty useful as well. I'm thinking here, yeah, this could be a really long fight with Andariel, and that poison could be absolutely crippling. So let's whack a Tal rune in while we've got one spare. So down to players 1, let's just try and get through the act. Find another little charm there. We've got sacrifice at level 12. We're not really doing much in terms of auras at this point. So it's whether we keep stacking it. I mean, I did get another 1 damage there. And although I feel like I'm a decent level for Andariel, I'm still worried about the damage. But you can see, even against some of these champions, I mean, I might be taking a few hits, but we're cutting them down. So here might be one of the first bigger tests. Oh, that's a pretty decent charm as well. 1 to 2 cold damage. So I've actually found quite a few there. So we've got 3 to 6 cold damage total. And actually it looks like our damage is ramping up. I say ramping up. You know what I mean. It's a lot higher than I thought it would be at this point. I actually thought this run would be really, really super tough. At this point, I'm laughing. The Smith is getting absolutely destroyed. Now in other runs, he's normally at a much higher player count. Just because I want the extra experience from Act 1 so we can get those early levels as quickly as we can. But at players 1, what has he got? He's got nothing. Well, he's got a wrist blade. We'll take the malice. And annoyingly, when you pick it up, you equip it, of course. So the worst area, the jail. Hate it. But a grand charm drop from a hero creature, that's pretty good. And it's +6 to poison damage. Now that is, I mean, again, it's way, way too big. And I'm not going to make any more That's What She Said jokes. You can do them to yourself at this point. But that is... no, I can't now even talk about it. And I actually almost die in the jail, which sums the place up. I hate it. I just find it so weird that they would design a jail so badly. There's no excuse for making it such an inefficient jail. And look at this jewel I found. So +5 to maximum damage. I mean, it feels at this point that might be insane. I've got a bit distracted with my jail hatred. 28 more damage. How is this run considered to be difficult? Is that just an insane find? Have I ruined the run already? Well look, let's pray to this guy. Say thank you so much. So it feels like we're really, really well equipped to take on Andariel at this point. Yeah, that is a really, really good drop. I mean, pretty insane drop. Nice, actually pretty decent charm that. Let's get rid of some of these weapons. What? +2 minimum damage. Another +10 damage. Oh my god. We're a beast. 20. Oh my. This is like a. This is so overpowered. This is so easy. And now look. Again, this is players 1. But catacombs got nothing. It's a shame in a way I just don't have more points into prayer, because the damage is now kind of fine, but if we had a prayer level 5 to help synergise with cleansing, then yeah, I think we'd be pretty unstoppable. Like an early level character anyway. And even these banished, because the paladins are so overpowered in terms of their resistances, even these guys didn't have a chance. Let's have a look at this ring. Found a few rings, so let's have a look. Lifesteal? I wonder. Let's see if that lifesteal's any good. And actually, when I recorded this, I was just getting a bit carried away with myself, and I now, in hindsight, realise that you can't steal life from undead. So I'm like, oh, let's dismiss the lifesteal. But I might be just being an idiot. Very likely, just being an idiot there. But 3% isn't huge. I'm not sure if I really need it. Some of the creatures, especially cold enchanted, were a bit of a challenge just because it slowed you down so much. And look, my ex-girlfriend turned up. Devil Bang the Mad. Let's get rid of her. And that is Cathan's, right? So that is 6% lesser. The damage reduction is really good, I've got to say. It might just sound like 2, but that's 2 off everything, so it's pretty overpowered. Having a look here, Vigour. Problem is I need 2 points. I need to put point in Defiance. I don't need it just for a bit of extra run walk. And look, already we've got concentration. Now, concentration is an interesting one. I mean, it's a classic Hammerdin skill because it scales with Blessed Hammer. But that, I mean, it's just 20%. It's just pure extra damage. And it's a 20% chance of not being interrupted when you get hit. I think that's how it works anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's all very, very similar. I mean, cleansing there, you can see I'm losing just a few points of damage. But I get, effectively, regenerative health. You can see here, my health is just not going down. So I've got that life still. And I've got an aura now that replenishes life. And I think against Andariel, that's going to be pretty useful. But I feel pretty strong at this point. Let's see if my mother-in-law's in. Oh, there she is. Right, I think let's drink an antidote potion and let's see. Oh yeah, the damage is pretty good. I think I kind of regret not doing this on a higher difficulty level. But this is no issue whatsoever. This is a punch-only run. I mean, look, maybe it gets very, very difficult. It's sure to get very, very difficult. But we have blitzed through Act 1. And actually, with that shield now, I mean, I wonder how rare the modifiers I got on those jewels are, and I should have saved them. But at least for Act 1, no issue whatsoever. Love that little wolf head, like cuddly toy. So bad. A load of trash really, but there's a Rondash there. Back 2. That did not take long, I'll be honest. I thought this would take a long, long time. I'm just checking out some of Farah's unique Paladin dialogue. Someone pointed out that there's pretty much unique dialogue in every act for every character other than the expansion ones. First thing I do, let's look for some magic find gear. And it's interesting that she sells it. Normally I go up to Elzix here and the Desert Rose. The cheapest Airbnb in the area.
You look like a sturdy adventurer.
Oh, I wondered if he had some interesting dialogue, but no. So he sells like Act 1 gear. He's kind of like a retailer of the previous act's stuff. What we're looking for is magic find gear from him. And interesting to find another 25% magic find pair of gloves. But I'm looking for a pair of boots here. Ideally like chain boots. Or just heavy boots. With 25% magic find would be great. I lose the will. I did that a lot, back and forth. So let's get into the sewers. I hear Atma's got some problems with the toilet, so let's go and find the root cause. Luckily my pro intuition just gave me the feeling I was going the wrong way. And look at this. Unbelievable. A little river. Might be worth a drink. It's fresh water. There's a lot going through there. Yeah, not the kind of log ride you want to go on. Very dead. You can see I'm missing a few times here. We know now a lot of these creatures have got an innate kind of block chance, especially if they're holding a visual shield. God, I just had so many trains and stuff going past. I had to keep stopping and starting doing this voiceover. I've just seen outside it's snowing, which has cheered me up quite a lot. It is very, very cold in London at the moment, though. Relative to how cold I'm used to, at least. So here we are, Radamant, luring out the horrors. You tend to not be particularly tethered to Radamant, so you can pull them out and punch them up. You can lure them away from Radamant, who's likely to resurrect them. The only one of those mages who's a pain is the frozen one, to be honest. The fire ones we can stomach. The lightning one never really does enough damage. Poison one's just a slight inconvenience, but it's that ice one that's a real pain. But I jump in there, I think actually I'm slightly overcommitting here. So let's lure a few more out. Okay, I actually thought we'd probably be back and forth in terms of him resurrecting, but he doesn't bother. Now we're not life stealing because he's undead, but he hasn't got much. Except for some compromising sketches of Deckard. So that skill point is a brilliant reward. We'll take this particularly raunchy Heraldric Scroll. We'll keep that in case we need it, in case we need to blackmail Deckard. So let's run through the desert. Flesh Killer, yeah, that's a pretty cool name. And actually, because they're like a poison thrower, that sounds pretty cool. And look at it, I mean, this is classic me just sightseeing. But look how good that looks. They've really made it look like it's scaled, like this is a little bit of a like valley bit. Like there's a little cubby here with some cool details of like the prey that's been dragged in. Previously you can see how they made this kind of like false perspective. Those guys look like they're up slightly higher than I am. But the way it looks now is just so good. Rocks look phenomenal. And I love the way the temple looks. And just doing the old classic here, where you find it, let's put a portal down. I mean, town portals are just such a luxury. After my Barbarian not allowed to go to town run, oh, it's so nice to be able to go to town. Annoyingly, there are some points where you just get completely surrounded and you've got to box your way out. And then we can get the waypoint further up and sprint through. Seethe Fester. Man, I just love the Unraveler creature design. They had an Unraveler action figure, I remember, which was just so good. I'll try and find a picture of it. But I always wanted it, even though I was far too old to be collecting action figures, but you know what it's like. Just super, super cool design. Level 2, it's the old classic. We've got to run around the big areas to try and take out the Unravelers. And then we can take our time with the return. This was actually quite slow, I've got to say. It really felt like damage was tailing off, and our ability to take out groups was very limited. Finally we get to level 3, I can see there's an Unraveler there throwing his unholy bolts at me. Just got to take my time. I think I'm out damaging him resurrecting. It looks like there may be only one Unraveler in here. And you can see I've got the prayer aura on, or at least a cleansing aura, which is being synergised with the prayer, and that's really helping me. It's not a huge amount of extra, but you can see every now and then my health just topping up. And a nice level up there. The level ups, of course, they slow down quite a lot. Just sit by these pots and decide what we want to do. So we've got a 32% chance to block. I think let's put some points of vitality, and I'm loving prayer at the moment. Heals +4 at this point. A few speed cubes, moon crawler. Come out to see the moon, punched in the chops. Oh, eyes and hearts. I mean, I should be like, oh, 106 defense. Ugh. It's just so annoying how often it drops. Yeah, and you can see I do get more defense, but we lose so much. An into area I don't hate as much as most people, especially since I now know the trick of just turning right. Annoyingly, we come up against a hero immediately. And because we're not doing a huge amount of damage, they have a tendency to burrow. These sand maggots have a tendency to burrow in, which means we kind of get surrounded. Oh, ghostly death beetles as well. You can see, like, even though this footage is quite sped up, how slow I was attacking there when I was ghostified. They've just got that cold, spectral hit. And very quiet. I think we could probably actually take out... Wait. Did I see that? I don't remember this. Okay, one, I don't think I've ever seen this. And I'm not sure if this is safe for YouTube. Yeah, I've never seen... How have I never noticed that in my life? He actually spawns them. Oh, tell me I'm not the only one that didn't realise that. I can't believe it. This is babies. Wow. I mean, it makes sense. But I just don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe it's just so busy normally I'm just running in and out. So it's gone dark. We know we've wandered too far into the Lost City. Stone Main. Yeah, that's not a cool name. Where's he gone as well? Oh, there he, yeah, he's teleported away. Yeah, Stone and Moon tend to be naming conventions for people who've got teleportation as a skill. Just love the fire tower. And it can be poisoned, as Mick Dagger found out, so we know this some poor mage has to sit in there all day long, hoping I'll turn up. Now the salamanders, claw vipers, they tend to be glass cannons. Enough of them together can be a real challenge. But actually, I kind of know the way around this now. I've just done it so many times recently. It was a real slog kind of getting through each of these rooms. You can see that briefly from the map I showed. Coward's northern route, it's got to be. One of the things that's quite intimidating about the snakes is you can hear them from a few screens away. So I know they're in here. Well, of course we know that they're here. But when you can hear them from a distance, and there's a few of them hissing, I mean, that is loud. And annoyingly, they're in a really frustrating position because they're just in the way. We've got some decent pots here. Has anyone ever said that? Yeah, I'm just going to do the Coward Southern route. Realise it's a lot quieter. And luckily these aren't the minions. And I do kind of want to kill the minions just because the experience is good. And I've got this quite decent choke point. Fangskin is such a killer, absolute killer. I'd love to see like WoW stats when they did WoW Hardcore, and you can see how many of those areas are super dangerous for low levels. And Fangskin is definitely one of those noob killers. I think he killed my first ever hardcore character, and like it took me about a year to recover emotionally. And here's how to do it. Every time I say I'm going to do it, textbook, cellar, navigation. This is like always a bit dodgy. Yeah, fine. Oh no! Oh my god, that is so busy. Right, I think we can fight it. We just gotta fight it. The damage we're doing is respectable, and actually the damage from these invaders is not great. Problem is they are absolute cowards, and I can't get to this door without being hit by a few of them. So yeah, let's just do this. Oh, man, it is busy. What are these dudes up to? Combat shrine, nice. I think that's the most important thing. I could skip past the horror mages, but I don't want to get trapped at that door and be shot at from behind, so I think let's clear them out. Ooh, excellent, Fire Eye stuck in his little cage there. Wow, god, that is busy. And we know he's not in here now because he's stuck up there, so this is going to be pretty pedestrian. Excellent. Look at that. Now, annoyingly, these spectres stack up, and I'm not doing enough damage. But a very welcome level up. Let's keep us in the game. I think I'm going to pump dexterity I love having decent block chance. I know it's quite annoying, you have to split, pretty much never do mana and then just split between the other three. It's one thing they really needed to rework in this, is how redundant the mana skill becomes, or 80 points in mana. And just reminding everyone how good it used to look. So, I mean, I'm never a fan of just random candles, I'll be honest, especially in movies when they have like a scene and there's like 400 candles and you think, who's maintaining this candle habit? You've got a problem if you're having to light that many candles. But yeah, the stars in the background, I know it looks more realistic now, in inverted commas, but yeah, I love the way it used to look like an old screensaver, not like Windows 95 screensaver. Dragonthorn the Dead. Yeah, I mean, I can actually fight these guys. Again, Paladins never really struggle with resistances or blocks. Better avoid that cold blast just because it's going to slow us down. Actually, it looks like it, of course, it hits the pillar, and then I feel confident. Maybe we'll be okay in this little corner here. You can see how slow it is against these Ghoul Lords. I think the Ghoul Lords have an innate physical resistance. Let's put a safety portal down. Oh Christ, one of those ice bots went into town, I think. Sorry, Warreeve. Put his bonfire out. And the old Duke. Yes, we got him. Oh, it's really quiet here as well, which is good. Oh man, it takes actually quite a few hits. Oh, that could be a royal challenge. Oh, look what dropped.
Rest in peace, tortured soul.
Yeah. Oh, can I even be bothered to pick it up? Ugh. It's probably worth something. I'll get rid of that one dex. Cold resist 16. No, I want to keep the damage. Yeah, no good. Oh, I mean, look at that weapon. Look. Oh my goodness. So it repairs and it's ethereal. Oh my god. Amplify damage on striking. That is insanely good. And I can't help but sightsee here. Just looking at some of the detail. I love the way they illuminate like you've got a torch going through into these areas when you hover over it. Little tree up the top there. Great detail. And actually the stone up there looks so dodgy. That looks really, I don't know, the way it looks kind of okay there. But it looks super health and safety violation in the remake. Yeah, I love the extra little bits they did. And even like the grass detail. I know it's pretty like simple stuff, but little things. Yeah, this was scary, I've got to say. Down to 34 health there. Just getting pelted from all angles. I really want to try and take this unravel out. That is super risky. Down to 14 life. I've got to get out. I mean, I had an unraveler there, which I could have started thumping, but... and kind of not what you want to see. Look how good is that colour, by the way. They've really muted on a lot of those like extreme colours. And it's a shame, because it looks so cool. Champion Ghoul Lords, really not ideal at this point. But we can whittle them down, so we will. The damage does feel like it's starting to scale off slightly. We've been very lucky with those jewels as well, but it was never going to last forever. We are only in Act 2 now. It's our second of the Champion Ghoul Lords getting punched down. There is another one up there. I worry that he looks like a slightly different colour. If he's like a berserker, that's ideal. So although they do a lot more damage, they just don't have many hit points. Oh no, it's worse than that. This one's fine, but yeah, we've got a ghostly one there. Yeah, we're just gonna maybe just have to avoid him, I think. Look at this elite. Where's the door? Where's the door handle? Oh, that was quite lucky. It did say blocked, but it did let us close it. Oh damn, this is busy. Oh, I'm not sure what we're going to do here. Maybe... Oh, okay, dance. Yeah. Incoherent talking at this point. We've got to try and take one of these out. Like, 2 resurrecting is going to be too much, I think. The damage output I'm doing. I'll just resurrect them all. We do... Oh, there's another one up there, actually. So there were 3. You can see them getting, like, imbued. That little, like, whirlwind. Like, sand whirlwind. Oh, and he's opened the door. These are the kind of situations you don't want to get into if you ever try this yourself. But I found myself with my back to pots quite often. So we got to the end. Let's lure some of these burning undead out actually. We should be far enough away. And run in and just get these unravelers out of the way. Yeah, pretty clear. Straight in the orifice. That's my advice for life. Jam that in. You can hear Duriel scream in a moment. It builds up the momentum. He's fast asleep at this point. Ram it in. Okay, this is going to be tough. Just throwing potions just to take the edge off the old cold aura that he's got. Can't stop him freezing you, annoyingly. But at least the damage tick from it is very minimal. Okay, looks like we're okay. I mean, he's doing damage when he hits. He has the unfortunate ability to hit twice in quick succession, and if they both hit, that's when you see the health really tank. But normally, on average, only one of them hits. And actually, with my block, he's not even hitting every time. Oh, look at that! Straight in the solar plexus. Oh, you won there. Yeah, weird one this one. I mean, I think it goes 1 to 3 on all those skills, so maybe with... I mean, it's not great, I'll be honest, but
This is
it's not bad for the level it's at. Annoyingly, I can't use it as like an offhand, because it automatically puts it as the default. And look, a Guinness drinker on his way back home. Teach his wife some manners. Oh yeah, okay, this is not looking good. This is like as many people will now know, this is my litmus test for how easy hell's gonna be. Didn't feel great. And I'm just desperate for this guy to fire. Yeah. I mean, just doing maybe like 50 to 70 per inferno, as long as we don't get hit by the whole thing. And a jade figurine. Very welcome at this point. Now the damage we're doing against these Thornhawks is pretty good. We just can't afford to get surrounded. And actually I think he's cold enchanted, so we're just going to leave him be. Maybe we can kind of use this little corner here. Not to fight. Oh, I've left too much space. I'm getting hit by 3. Yeah, it's going to be 4. Let's keep moving around. I've just got to be super careful not to get surrounded. And actually, let's just forget about it. Let's just run. Let's run through this. Now, preferred method, and I got criticised by one guy. For some reason, they seem to like this act. But nobody else does, dude. So just get over yourself. Something really wrong with you if you enjoy this over the others. It used to be great fun back in the older Battle.net days, but they patched that out, so you can't skip the whole thing just by killing the council and then getting the waypoint from someone, some kind gentleman. Flame spiders. It looked like it hit hard then, but I think I'm not on full health. But I've got that prayer aura now at a decent level, so you can see they're just like passively enjoying kind of 4 health every now and then. Giant lampreys, we've got no issue with them at this point. That only 3 or 4 hits. But we really have to be careful of Sark the Burning. Because that girl hits like an absolute truck. Yeah, I've been doing this a few times actually, just coming like right to the bottom of the map, and actually it's always slightly above that. So we're going to have to find a way all the way around. Someone put a shrine in here. What is wrong with them? Oh, it's a skill shrine. Worth it. Just worth it because we're rocking the prayer aura on that actually almost adds about 50% more to our heal. They'd start the burning. Whoa, my gosh. 168 damage there. And of course, as soon as you walk past the spider again, They sense the weakness. I mean, even those minions are pretty tough. That was an insane amount of damage. Yeah, down to 1 life. And I've never died on normal, so that was probably the closest I've ever come. Or down to 2. Yeah, I'm not being nearly as careful as I need to be here. And even against these 2 minions, you can see they're easily capable of doing like 30 to 50 damage. Okay, we've got to Dark on his own here, herself here. And this is going to deal. Coward. I have to just run slightly to the side there. She ejects something from her bottom. I'd be scared if I saw this guy punching my brethren to death. Okay, shot. Yeah, that's not bad. We need any extra damage is very welcome. I can't imagine us ever switching shields at this point. So it adds so much. Let's grab the eye. I'll tell you what. Let's just get out of here. And I found I said he must be mourning the death of his mosquito wife. Quite a sad scene, really. Oh, sorry. Sorry, sucker. Oh no. If you fight back, then unfortunately, I was just going to hit you once, mate, like a friendly kind of tap on the shoulder. But first object, I mean, the Great Marsh. This is one of the reasons why I hate this area so much. Great Marsh it's like a wild goose chase. You can go to the Great Marsh, and sometimes you don't even have needed to, because of the way the maps like join together. And this is the kind of situation you don't want to find yourself. What's interesting there is there are so many creatures that are actually a lot of them weren't attacking. It does make me worry about doing an increased monster density mod. So I finally got mods working for the next run. I've got to be careful here. Again, these thrashers, they get increased speed. It's very easy to get surrounded when they start getting that first hit in. Let's see here. Launching himself around, but we can use the bridge strategically. I'm all about strategy, as you know. Storm tree looks pretty cool here. I'm thinking, yeah, safety board is a good shout. He's lightning enchanted. You see how much damage that lightning does as well. Yeah, I think let's just get the waypoint. Let's take Storm Tree with us as well. Got to be a bit careful with these tree lurkers. They actually hit very hard. They've got quite decent health as well. I don't know if it's a resistance they have. I'm pretty certain they're just a huge health pool. But it seems more than these gorilla boys, to be honest. Yes, and we got the waypoint.
I can't.
That was a weird, like, I can't, or I can't. And yeah, I got schooled on how Magic Find doesn't change any of the drops that you get from those chests, super chests here. Some decent champion packs here. And we can actually circle around and take on these Thrasher minions. Oh, nice. Some chain gloves. Is that Clegor's? Clegor's pincers. So that's quite interesting. That slows target by 25%. The knockback is actually probably annoying. But it could be useful for bosses. Just looking at some of the doodads here. I mean, it looks very cool. But candles again. Who's maintaining that candle? The Doom Ape? So there is some text, as in some dialogue at some point, that mentions the fact that the temple always faces in that direction. So the entrance being facing like northwest. I think they might just say it faces north or south, I'm not sure. Might try and find that at some point. Let's get rid of those potions, we don't need that. Worth keeping that staff just to sell. I'm going to clear a little bit of this early area out. These early rooms, just we've got a little bit of a place to backtrack to, in case we need it. Ah, and Champion Night Lords, not ideal. Yeah, and trying to get one of those Night Lords there, we end up getting the full Flesh Hunter pack. And Serena is down. I'll actually circle back to take on that Possessed Night Lord. Alcor very grateful to get his diary back. And we're up against the sewers here. Unfortunately, we're being interrupted. These zealots are just annoying. So when they get to a very low health, they tend to run away. Look at these reflections as well. Looks really good. Water in this game looks phenomenal. Look at that, the flickering light looks really, really good. I'm saying I hate the sewers, but yeah, this is quality stuff. Again, slightly annoyed at who's meant to be maintaining that. Those tiki torches. And you can see there on the ground a mace. Not much use to us. Oh, that would be so good. 33% chance of crushing blow. Just imagine with sacrifice how much damage we were doing. Wow, 161 and 30% crushing blow. Well, another time, another life. And these gloom bats, exactly what we want to find in this area. So we've got to be quite careful. We don't want to get too many. But actually they're squishier than I thought they'd be. They do have tendencies, much like the Zakumarites, the behaviour, very similar. They're running off once they've taken enough damage. So we can kind of wait for them to return. Decent chests there actually, splint mail pretty good. Finally we're up to Travincal. And I want to try and sort this level out, but keep getting pelted by meteors. So yeah, just 5% more. Oh, sorry, 5 points into dexterity, and we get a 5% better chance to block. So well worth the point. Prayer now looking good. I think it's worth just keep pushing it. It's our aura of choice. Who would have thought? But unfortunately, before we take on the council, we've got to head back in the gid bin. Let's see if we're going to get another passive rat man. Are we going to get anyone? Hello? Hello? Who is it? Bit scared now. Is it that parrot? Puke White the Mad. Oh, he was aggressive as well. It's weird how sometimes that quest seems to be a bit bugged in terms of... Or maybe it's only when I'm doing a passive run. You can hear that little rumble in the background just a moment ago. So many freight trains going past. I'm trying to record this. I don't think I've ever really watched Ormus do that, but I like the fact that he shows some emotion for once. We've got this ring. I mean, it's got a few bits and pieces, but really not much. Not sure we really need the attack rating at this point. There's not much else there. So cautiously now into the Flare Dungeon. There's an experience shrine that we should grab. Oh, it's actually quite a cool little shrine. I don't think I've ever seen that before. What does it look like previously? It's amazing how many unique shrines and stuff there are in every different area. Like the one we found in the palace, I think, last video. Well, that's a cool one. Not an ideal place to be fighting there, so getting pelted by the trap. Yeah, real slog at this. I'm really not a fan of the Flare Dungeon. I don't mind it in isolation. I actually wouldn't mind if it was bigger. Maybe the layout was more predictable, but it had more maze quality to it. But it being put 3 levels deep, it's always quite dangerous. And it's in the middle of the bloody jungle, which is just a misery to get through. And thank God for doorways, right? I remember once reading a strategy guide for the original Diablo. I say strategy guide, it was like an online website someone had made when I was really young. And it was use doorways to funnel creatures, and that tactic is still well used by me. Just looking at some of the doodads here. Interesting what they did with the stone. The reason why I stopped here is this snake. I was like, have I ever seen that? Well, that is going to make a great soup. Look at that, delicious. Lots of tomatoes. And I don't know what that is. Maybe that's what happens when you eat too much of it. And that colourway could only be in Dugu. Got to be a bit careful. Again, the Inferno, it isn't super dangerous, but I can't kill him quickly enough to not have to take a few hits from it. Yeah, it's not doing much. And you can see like the prayer is just working so well. Just boosts like survivability. There's no need to go back to town that often at all. For a like Paladin no town run, prayer would be just insane. So annoyingly lair, I'm like, where is the chest that killed Ndugu? I just for the life of me could not work out where it was. I thought, was it around here? It can't be back at the beginning. Most of you know this map, realise I'm a bit of a moron. But I'm surprised Ndugu was just spawned so far away from this particular area, and I was a bit annoyed that there was anyone here. A little Ithru in there as well. Just need a jar and a burr. Or an attack rating. I mean, we're 81 to 78, so I mean, we lose 3 slots for a 3% more chance to hit. I don't see that being worth it. Testing there, the benefit of having concentration over cleansing, and it's 5 damage difference. But I lose the regenerative properties of cleansing, which is just so good. And you can see how, I mean, I'm speeding this up a lot. Yeah, they took a long time. There's no way I can fight a big pack because they'd be healing themselves almost constantly. But if I get them pushed up against the back here, their backs to the kind of swampy water, then it's very difficult for them to run away. Oh, and run fails, by the way, because I accidentally picked up Kaleem's flail. So I felt really, really bad when that happened. And I thought, ah. But then Talk was like, oh, the run's over, I don't need to do anything. What is going on? I felt really bad about this. But I was like, how is that broken, his AI? Yeah, there's me writing WTF. So weird, like just one hit from the flail was like, it's not even worth fighting back. So it didn't take too long. Bit of a slog. I mean, they took a while. It really was just trying to pull them out one by one. I'm doing the old classic here, just trying to find a decent mask. Almost has a good chance of, and it's the masks you want. There's a coral bone shield there with very decent lightning resist. And I'm looking for this basically. Cobalt mask there is the cold resist version, and I want the lightning resist. I know Mephisto is going to be a protracted battle. And for that I need some lightning resistance. We've seen him, we've witnessed in previous runs him do well over 200 damage in one volley, so we just need to be stacking resistances for that. And I'm struggling against these doom apes, so again, now I know more about the chests. I didn't need to up the difficulty, but I've upped the difficulty to like players 8, and I've removed a lot of my charms as well just to make room for a lot of this loot, and I've really just completely hampered in terms of damage. But the jewels, man, I'm looking for jewels. Sounds a bit dodgy that, I'll be honest. Yeah, decent drop rate of jewels as well. And you know me, by the time it gets to this point, I've got enough money. Let's gamble. And I'm looking for a plated belt. They're really, really not expensive at this point. I mean, not cheap, still almost 7,000. And I'm looking ideally for lightning resist. There we go, lightning resist 10%. Good, no good. Yeah, no good. I was hoping for at least one rare there. Yeah, the fast hit recovery is nice, but you know, I just can't help myself. Oh, there's a blue one there. Oh yeah, and it's rare. Oh, that's rubbish. It does have +3 replenish life, but I need some resists on the belt, really. Surprise, surprise. Ice and heart. That guy needs to keep his clothes on. It's time to replace the old skull cap as well. 20% lightning resistance on that. Full helm, that's much better. And let's have a look and see what many runs got us. Look at that, glorious. Glorious booty. We'll start with some of the helms, some of the shields and stuff, some of the bigger items. We use Decker, these right next to us. What do we got? Oh, 11 resist all. I actually quite like the look of that. What? What? Okay, wait, hold on. Life, fire resist, 1 to 73 lightning damage. What is going on? That is incredible. Okay, rubbish in comparison. Wow, that is really good. Attack rating as well. Yeah, I mean, none of these can even compare. Shields as well. I mean, I'm really liking the the Taj we got from the very beginning. That 3-socket Taj with the jewels in. We've got to see if we get any decent jewels here. Let's have a look at some of these charms. Okay, nice. Poison damage and fire. We can get rid of that one. We don't need the stamina. I don't like the 7 to life, I'll be honest. No good. Oh, lightning. Yeah, I don't really like it. Nothing great there, I'll be honest. Here's the good stuff. Look at this. Ooh, very nice. 9 resist all. Losing that 1 damage though. Although we've got so many more now. So it's 6 damage, 6 physical damage. Let's see if there's anything good here. 6 to life, no good. Yeah, no good. Replenish life. Actually, don't hate the idea of that. So 1 to 10 fight. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we need to be stacking. Ooh, okay, min damage. Lightning. It's not really worth it. 12, is it? Okay, there's a lot of resists there. It doesn't look good. No. Fire resist 22. That's probably worth holding on to actually. Use that for hell. Decent attack rating. No good, no good, no good. Ooh, replenish life 7. Min damage there. Nice. I think minimum damage is the best one to get, right? And then there's a max damage, +1 max damage. Fire resist. It's got a lot of rubbish there, I'll be honest. There's a lot there, but they need to be much higher. Like 13 attack rating is horrific. Decent cubing. Found quite a few gems during that. This is always kind of like a fun reward, especially because I love hoarding gems. Just completely pointless. Loads of skulls. I mean, what am I going to do with that? Nothing. But so I'm kind of stuck with clay claws at the moment, and I really would like something with a little bit more utility. So I'm gambling here, see what we can get. Just some magic find ones there. So this is pretty slow going, having so few slots. So look, 39 to 147 damage with sacrifice. But actually we lose so much damage if we switch to our lightning resist. So great that we can jump that lightning resist up, but we lose so much damage. I think that's more likely to kill us just because the battle will go on for so much longer. Pulse Drill the axe. Got nothing on us now. Quite shattered as well. So this looks very much like level 3. Who's this coming out? Oh, that's a dream come true. It's annoying because it means a lot of the council members are probably quite close to the way we want to go. But for Brem to come out like this, it's perfect. We're in a pretty decent position here. Looks like a lot of the lightning bolts seem to be jumping past us. Nice, that's a great first kill. Oh, great drop as well. Yeah, I think just kite these guys out. And actually there weren't too many council members there. Looks like he had 2. And Wyand as well. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty decent position. I'm quite confident about Mephisto. He just hits so hard though. Some of those charge bolts, so I think he fires like 5 or so, and they just can stack up. The damage can be so variable. Lightning in this game is normally 1 to, like, let's say it's 1 to 70. But you're talking 7 times 5, you do 350 damage if they all max out. Yeah, he's hitting hard as well. The danger of him hitting pretty hard is it drops my hit pants. Hit pants. I literally said hit pants. I'm not going to edit that out. My hit pants. As long as I keep my health up, I mean 300 is fine. If we keep our health around that 200 level, we should be able to tank anything. He says, with some of those hits you can see they do a lot of damage. But one full belt, that cleansing aura, do God's work. Let's put some magic find on and pray to the gods. Pray to Orange Jesus. So it's only 42% magic find, but it's better than nothing. Safety portal, it's always dangerous. Oh wow, really was down to one hit. A broadsword, so that's Griswold's edge. No good to us whatsoever. I mean, 12 to strength. Oh, nice. Fortunately, it's inventory management nightmare here because I have to have all these charms just to have the damage. Yeah, let's chuck it. I'm pretty useless at this point. Just looking at this portal on the way here again. I love doing this. I don't like the effect, I'll be honest. It looks a bit crap. It looks a bit like kind of Diablo 3. Look at that! Insanely good. It looks terrifying, like tendrils could like whip you into the portal, just drag you in. It looks otherworldly. Yeah, and it looks like what? Yeah, and it just looks cheap. That just looks incredible. The artists in the original were just insane. We've got to say the water effect does look really good in the new now. The lighting. Here we are. Iron Mike. Still stuck with Clegg Laws, annoyingly. We're even still stuck with some of these like rings and stuff. Yeah. Look, great. We are maxed out fire resistance, which is really good. We are going to run out of that. Still got our gem Taj from the beginning. There's a lot we can improve on. The boots there, I mean, come on, dude. You must be able to do better than that. Annoyingly, we can't actually wear the greaves yet, because we need 70 strength. Cold resist 25. I mean, the problem is I just don't need cold resist. Right, let's see how we fare. Okay, with the Inferno doesn't seem to be doing too much with the resistances we've got. Actually, we can get through these guys. We are in real danger, and yeah, the damage they do is pretty high. There's no way I can kind of heal the damage output of getting surrounded like that. So we've got to be quite cautious. It's still okay in terms of chance to hit, but it's not getting easier. But I actually thought this could be really, really tough, but this doesn't seem too bad. With the cold damage as well, we've got worth hitting everyone just once, just to cool them off. I've got Clegg Laws as well, which is slowing people by 25%. The duration isn't huge on that, of course, but cumulative with the slow that we've got from the cold damage. Bit around the houses to try and find Israel, and he ended up actually being quite near to the entrance to the Plains of Despair. And I'm just thinking to myself already, Israel's going to be an absolute nightmare, isn't he? So he's got that chance to slow. He does the occasional Frost Nova as well. And yeah, this was, I mean, hoping this isn't going to be Ancients like. I don't want to be Ancient by the end of this. I can't even imagine having to do this on Nightmare. I can't imagine my damage is going to scale up that much more than what we've got now. But eventually, War of Attrition. He wasn't really able to do the damage, it's just a case of yeah, let's warm up after all that cold damage and see what we've got. So we've got a few skill points to spend now, which is always fun. Holy Shield is such a good skill, that's the problem. That successful blocking plus 14%, unfortunately it kind of is worth 5 points. Am I ever going to get the chance to have that many spare points to get that close to it? No, we've got to do it. It's painful, painful. Think of what we could have done with prayer there. Maybe I'll regret that. But it's just so good once we get there. We get another 2 levels, hopefully before Diablo. It's really that lightning attack of Diablo. I'd love to get that extra 14% block chance. And there I was like, what's going on? Why am I picking that up? For some reason the no pickup seems to have turned itself off. The Trapped Soul. Often walk past Let's get that map out of the way and we can have a look at him properly. I just thought, what is he? Is he trapped in the... I think I did it earlier, trapped in the rocks. And then what have I done now? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, dude. He really does not look happy. Should have just left him. I wanted to catch what she was writing here as well, which I mean, was... looks like it could almost be her name. It's probably completely random, right? I spent about 3 minutes trying to catch it, and she just didn't do it. Then I went back to town, and she did it, so that's the best I could get. So I really like the sound effect for it as well. Come on, we're just hoping now for some decent boots. I accidentally get a helm there by mistake. But Goblin Toe there, I flashed up. Always flashing my Goblin Toe. Yeah, there is a chance, like 1 in 1,000 chance or whatever, that we might get that, and that crushing blow would be insane. But all we're looking for is just some decent resists, really. Here we go. So we got rare on there. It's not great. It's not great. We do this a lot. Again, less than 7,000. So lightning resist, fire resist. Yeah, I mean it's probably better than what we've got, right? It's difficult to know because we don't really need any more fire resist, so maybe it's worth just holding on to those, just in case we switch out some other equipment. Oh, I'm so infuriated at this point, Jamila. Are you serious? Let's give her a tip, an insulting tip. That's it. Choke on that. Yeah, we spent an absolute fortune in that casino, and for naught. River of Flame. And here's where I just had this insane, like, because they're such large creatures, you can kind of duck around. And of course I'm slowing them down with each hit. Ducking and weaving. And I was like, that looked insane. So what have I become? Annoyingly, the armour's broken. The splint mail is ethereal. Like all things in life, it can't last forever. Let's chuck it on the floor. Luckily, we've got a 3-socket breastplate. But look, I've got this stealth armour still. Let's whack that on. We'll wait for the Hellforge reward and maybe we'll get some decent, like a perfect ruby or something we can put in that breastplate. Yeah, this was not the ideal. The blunderballs I quite liked because you could didn't have to fight too many. Now I'm looking at the map to see where's the Hellforge going to be, and this looks pretty good. I'm thinking, okay, we've got a good chance here, but oh my god, I get completely trapped. Yeah, surrounded, and now somehow he's got an angle to hit us. This is almost worst case. There's no way I want to have to go and run through this thing. Luckily we managed to escape. I'm quite cross with this guy as well, so let's give him a thump. Yeah, the grotesque worms actually have pretty decent damage output compared to the like maggot larvae. He's bringing our cold resist down. He is spectral hit, so it just means a lot of his spectral hits hit harder. But much like the smith, all those many acts before, we look like we've got it. Using the concentration aura, we've got the potions to be able to kind of tank through him. And some gothic plate there. Worth picking up. Just to sell. The armour in this game is just worth so much more than anything else. It's always worth picking up the armour. Unfortunately, there's a lot to clear through. So let's fingers crossed for the Hellforge. It's really bad. Really bad. I mean, that is... yeah, almost as bad as it can be. We definitely do not need any of those, but we'll hoard them. And then the Chaos Sanctuary. Let's see how we fare. The Doom Knight there. Oh my god, absolutely destroyed. It's pretty confident at this point, I've got to say. The annoying thing is just getting cursed, like a Decrepify curse, especially get surrounded. The damage output is high. Luckily, with the damage we're doing, we can kill these guys with relative ease. We've got our cleansing aura back on, so you know, in a pitched battle, we've just got to be careful not to take too much damage. But I can just be quite casual here. Look how much life we're regenerating, just chilling out. Here we go, first time of fighting the Oblivion Knight. Yeah, pretty comfortable. So definitely won't beat Flesh Wolf there. I only just caught that. I thought it was a really badass name. But let's get through a lot of the punching. There was a lot of it, right? We've got the Grand Vizier of Chaos. These Stormcasters always can be quite surprising. With some characters, they're just so easy to kill. But actually getting to melee range, they can actually hit extra strong the Grand Vizier as well. Well, I was a bit scared then, because it actually looked like they were going to spawn. They can spawn almost on top of you there, even when you hit the seal. Oof. Nice little dodge there from Decease. And this looks like the range where the Fanaticism aura that Decease has is just out of range. Although, to be honest, I'm not too worried about these guys. Ah, but the cold. Decrepifying the cold. Oh yeah, okay, this is dangerous. Yeah, this is dangerous. The guy seems to have wandered off. So let's thump him in the chest a few times. Yeah. Going pretty well at this point, I've got to say. There's still a lot of room for improvement on our equipment as well, so... I mean, the dream would be getting some crushing blow. 6 to 8 cold damage? I'm pretty pleased with that for a charm. And this is the dodgy seal, because as soon as you hit this one, they spawn. Fortunately with the Paladin, I don't have a leap or a teleport to get out of this, so I've just got to try and... Oh, squeeze, this is risky. Oh my gosh. That is super, super sketch. Now, yeah, this is always painful. The Venom Laws are so tethered to the Infector of Souls. So if you want to fight him, you've got to kind of fight everyone, but this is a really good spot I found myself in here. And actually a very comfortable plate mail there as well. Decent to sell, if not to wear. So we're actually going to stick with Prayer as the aura of choice. I don't like this location at all. Yeah, because we're just going to get trapped. He has a tendency to use his cold attack, Diablo. And then use the lightning attack. It's kind of like a 1-2 combo. We're punching in quite a sensitive area there. I mean, that lightning is dangerous. Yeah, down to 87 there. The problem is he can just cast it 3 times in a row. Down to 74. Probably worth just trying to dodge around. It's just a war of attrition here. We can easily beat this guy. It's just a few trips back to town. Got the Magic Find gear on. I mean, it's only 48% Magic Find still. Kind of thought it would be over by this point. So, I'm a bit scared. The danger is when you put your Magic Find gear on, you lose your resistances from the equipment. Oh, look at that, punched him right in the bum. Magic Find gear, of course, completely pointless. I think that crown shield would have been nice. I'm not sure there are actually any unique, like entry level shields. I think a lot of them are like nightmare variants. 2 socket armor there, 24% fast hit recovery. That's pretty nice. Damage reduced by 1. Anyway, let's get into Act 5. See if we can rescue our friend. I was probably surprised at how little damage I was doing to the enslaved here. So I actually switch it up. The benefit of having that concentration aura on, I think it's 60% damage at level 1. Oh, of course, I can't walk anywhere without having a look. Look at that, I thought. The reason I stopped, I mean, the yurts are nice. Although this guy didn't like me looking inside. But the reason I stopped was the helmets. And I thought, who's wearing that? Try and see if we can see if that like Shank the Overseer, is it? whether he has that helmet. I don't think they do, those kind of boss creatures. But yeah, I love the like slight perspective shift. And even like these little doodads here, like the buried wheel there and the one against the side. It looks so cool. But anyway, I was saying about having these the aura on, so the concentration aura when you've got some dudes with you. They benefit massively from 60% more damage. And actually on normal, the damage output of the Barbarians is pretty good. But it's just satisfying, you know, having a bit of a crew. Dak now. Here we go. Do one more punch. Come on, we can land it. Oh, we can't land it. Being chilled is just such a pain. It's got to the point where any cold enchanted heroes, I'm tempted just to skip past them. Let's get the waypoint. Let's come back. So let's see if he's wearing... He's not. So it isn't those boss creatures wearing the helmets. I wonder if it's the like stompy dudes. Yeah, and the damage is definitely slowed at this point. But the nice thing about Act 5 is the experience is actually pretty good. So even on Players 1 you can see just slowly ticking that up. We find Cleglaw's shield. So that has a synergy with the other Cleglaw's thing we've got. 15 resistances. I think the problem is we do so much damage. 20% resist all shield would probably be surpassed. So we've got 15 on that and there's a few nice synergies. But let's teach Shenk a lesson after we've destroyed everyone else. And then yeah, our favourite cubby hole. I've spent a lot of my life the last few weeks hiding this little cubby. So it's slow going, I'll be honest, it's slow, but it is manageable, and it is probably just a case of training hard. I don't know what to say. It's like the worst Rocky montage you could hope for, but the experience of these guys is very, very welcome. And it's a really good way, especially if you're slightly underleveled. Just stick it out, get some decent equipment, right by the waypoint, and let's see what we can get. So having a look at some of our charms, I think it's probably start chucking some of those. We had like a 6 poison one, and this is another shrine. Look at that, old star looks insane. I know it looks realistic, but it's more realistic in inverted commas. But yeah, I think they had something about the lighting and the colour palette, the original. And I'm looking there at the Crush Beast, and I'm pretty certain they're not wearing that helmet either. Very, very rarely do I come here. Thought I'd have a look at some of the architecture. Those skulls look so cool. Oh, what a shame. Now I'm probably going to get stuck here. Oh, maybe a bit luckier than we should be. Anyway, let's stop messing around. Could say the Barbarians, but to be honest, it's very, very risky. I'm actually not going to bother. If we find them, if we see them, we'll rescue them. Otherwise, I think let's just get through this area. We don't need the runes at this point. We'll always come back and rescue them. Thresh Socket is always pretty good because he's often on his own. And into the crystalline passage. Decent RNG you can scream through Act 5 really. So look, level 24. Holy Shield. It doesn't last very long at level 1. This is kind of the problem. I'm loving prayer so much. I think let's put the rest of the points we've got into that. So we're up to 8 life now. Every 4 seconds. I think let's get strength to 70, just so we can use the greaves and a lot of the other equipment. And Holy Shield, here we go. So 14% better block chance. Chance to block 33. I think we should be able to get up to 50. So yeah, I mean, even 5 more points. So 10 dex plus 10% block chance. That's really worth it. Oh, I'd love to be using Smite now. What can you do? So you can see, even if they're like the chip damage they're doing, I'm regenerating so quickly. Oh yeah, I'm absolute prince of punching at this point. So a real dodgy entrance to the frozen river there. I was pretty lucky. Not looking forward to making that journey. And yeah, heroes. The hero kind of Moonlords, man, they can be so tough. Lucky to cut them out one by one. And even though they hit pretty hard, against one of them we can outpray the damage. I wonder how viable pray's going to be if we get up to, like, with plus skills, like to 25. Actually, I think it scales. If you get enough levels into it, it scales more than one life per level. And this is the reality of my life at this point. Is holding the bridge and punching the Yetis. But the experience is good. I mean, Act 5 is just it is a bit of a slog, especially when your damage is low. But luckily we can use the environment here. The Cold Enchanted, I'm not sure I can be bothered with another Cold Enchanted. Actually, there's a lot more there than I realised there'd be. Let's just run out of here. Yeah, it's not worth it. And a gem shrine. So finally we got our perfect ruby that we should have had from the Hellforge. Just having a look at the shrines here. Bit of a shrine fest today. I mean, I like what they've done, but I don't love it. Again, it looks realistic, but it just loses a bit of the style. I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Act 5 generally. Like when the expansion came out, I liked this, like, soundtrack was quite good to begin with, and a lot of the environments, they're a bit samey. I think the creatures are very, very cool. And I think the quests and rewards are very, very good as well. But I think a lot of the environments can be quite boring. And look at that for resistances. Wow. It's just so good with a Paladin. And let's see, you never know. I mean, it's good, like 15 resist all, but it's not great. So kind of the one of the big potential roadblocks for this are these guys, because they could just be so tanky. Talik there with his flaming sword is just such a nightmare. And there's Maggot doing his shout, so they've got double defense. I've realised at this point I've got charge, and that might be the best thing we can do to separate them. So I don't have much faster run walk at this point. So I'm hoping that charge, time will tell. Yeah, it looks like we've got Corlock on his own. I couldn't tell you the last time that his leap attack actually landed. So even with prayer at a decent level, he is out-damaging us over time. But not enough to be that worried. So we're using just 2 or 3 potions really by the end of this fight. It was a long one. But that's 1/3 of the fight over. Now it might be worth thinking, trying to get charge on again, see if we can get them separated. I think the problem is they tend to aggravate one another. I'm hoping to bait the spin move. Now I think the problem is if I go straight down now, I think I'll get them both, but maybe if we come from the top angle, we might just be able to get Maggot. Here we go. Let's lead him up. Bit late for charge there, but... Okay, the problem with Maggot, if you don't get him in a good position, he likes to run backwards. But this looks pretty good. And actually the damage he's taking is fine. So do you Frost Nova then? Why is he doing that Frost Nova? Is that coming from my equipment? Looks like it's freezing me. Well, that's quite confusing, but let's not overthink it. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's freezing me. I didn't know he could do that. Maybe there's a chance of him spawning with like equipment with that as a suffix. But yeah, actually, I mean, compared to Corlock, that was pretty good fun. Now we can wait here for a bit, be patient, get our health back with prayer. Shouldn't take too long. And we've got one more fight. And this is the one I'm not looking forward to. It's just the damage output is so high, potentially. You get hit with that whirlwind quite a few times. Let's give him a quick punch just to let him know. But in the past we've had some luck trying to get him trapped up against this little area up here. There's a little tiny little cubby here which he can whirlwind into. I'm not really finding it here though. He's going to whirlwind past me. Yeah, oh, my armor's about not great condition either. Is he going to get... I think he's going to want to whirlwind past me there. Yeah, he's got the like spectral hit as well, which is not ideal. Just got to be really careful. I mean, down to 99 life there. I suppose it doesn't seem too bad, but that's still like almost 250 damage in one pass. Let's try a different location, see if we can get off maybe in this corner. Okay, yeah, we got him. Yeah, because he can't now whirlwind past us because we're on top of him. And actually he's taking a lot of damage at this point. Without his whirlwind, you can see I'm not using a single potion. Yes, and we've done it. And a great reward. So we are level 29 now. So the question is, another point in Holy Shield? A 4% more block chance, probably not worth it. We're still one level away from fanaticism. So it's sacrifice or prayer. Come on, dude, prayer at this point. Who would have thought when I first started this that I'd be using sacrifice and prayer? But that's what's fun about doing these runs, is maybe using skills you don't normally see. And finding out that there's some utility in them, at least with restrictions. But prayer, I think, is very good. Yeah, great first map there. And at this point, I really don't want to have to run from like the crystalline passage or wherever the last waypoint is. So, and I've got to be careful, very close to getting trapped. But once we've got that waypoint, I can kind of relax. 4 durability left. I think it's time to retire that. Now we do have a 3-socket breastplate there, and I think the resists are good, so I think we should just be using this as another opportunity to get more damage out there. Lightning or fire? I think I'll probably choose fire. Let's have a look what that's done to our damage output. Let's just sell that quickly. Okay, 8 to 10. Yeah, I mean at this point that is pretty good. A part of me is thinking we just still need more damage. 31% chance to block. 41. That seems fine for this point. Vitality, I mean 80 does feel quite low at this point. I'd like to be getting close to 100 really by the end of this difficulty. I mean, when we hit, it's fine. Damage is really good. I don't know if you would agree with me at this point. This isn't nearly as hard as I thought it was going to be. Now maybe the challenge is nightmare, and I can't even imagine how difficult hell's going to be without the right equipment. But I think if you took it slow, if you got the right equipment, just one like decent goblin toe, just some crushing blow from something. The problem is most crushing blows I think come from melee weapons, so you might be a bit limited with what can actually help you out. But here we are, 5 waves, and then we've got Baal to beat. And we've got fanaticism, so that's our level 30 skill. And it's noticeable how much faster I'm attacking. Again, this footage is sped up, of course. But yeah, there's a noticeable improvement. We do the old classic here, get the icy boys out of the way. And with enough of them gone. Unfortunately there's 2 more here, but we can just knock them down. And you can see how slow. I mean, this is sped up footage. Look how slow that is. There we go. That is insanely slow. I just need... I'm going to have to keep fighting this guy until he shatters. It should be like a 25% chance. There we go, he's gone. Yeah, unfortunately the damage is quite high. with that many unholy bolts hitting you from that many unravelers, the damage just stacks up. And the Decrepify is just a pain. It just halves the time I'm going to... Decrepify also reduces the damage you do. Now I'm not looking forward to the council members here. Remember before, the tactic in Act 3 for Travincal was just to separate them. And it's really, really difficult to separate them. Best thing we can do is just run all the way here. And luckily we've got one guy there. And it's just a case of doing that enough times. Bartik there against the wall. Bullied. I don't know why I put that point into dexterity there, but I think I'm just getting a bit the idea of having that extra block chance to me. It's very easy to get max block with the Paladin, especially with Holy Shield. It makes a very, very big difference to survivability. Here, kiting these guys out. I think we've got charge ready. He is a very, very speedy boy, but we can charge, lose him on the corner, and then maybe, yeah, looks like we've been pretty successful here. We might get one or two. In fact, it might be worth just... We're going to have to kill a few of these. Just to want to make sure we've got enough room to do some dinosaur ranching. And even against two, we're pretty comfortable. Before too long, I actually kite Ventar over as well. And now we've got Jurassic Park. So just kind of corralling them down here. Luckily they're not too fast. Yeah, some speedy Sonic moves. And we're laughing. Let's get in safety portal. And let's see how we fare. Now I'm pretty optimistic. Although I'm not hitting very often at all. Damn, the guy hits hard as well. Okay, this is looking like it's not going to be quite as much fun. I realise one of the big problems is I've got charge on my left click. I've not noticed yet. So let's get back to town and be like, this is going to be really tough. Okay. I'm trying to solve a problem here which could just be solved by realising that I've not got a sacrifice on my left click. But instead we make some blood gloves, and what I'm looking for here is that crushing blow, and actually 7%, it's a mid-roll. There's a few different mid-rolls there. Let's retire Clegors. Yeah, and that's what I realised. Holy Bolt, oh, it's not looking good. Finally, sacrifice on the left click. Oh, and actually, I'm so frustrated there. I have to go back and forth. Him to summon his clone already. I might just go back to town. So I'm getting absolutely bullied by these boys. I'm waiting here to see that first crushing blow hit. It's just not coming. I think let's get back to town. Let's kind of reset the area. Let's despawn a lot of those tentacles. Despawn the clone. He is really frustrating to fight. Luckily the mana drain is not an issue. The cold is annoying. He's got an innate block chance, which is really making this tough. I still haven't seen that crushing blow hit once. Yeah, actually, I'm very close to death. I realise at this point I've not died. Not that I ever die on normal, but it'd be nice to do one run where I definitely officially don't die. Come on, we just need a bit of luck here. We're just not having any luck at all. I actually go for fanaticism here. Let's forego the prayer. There we go. We got our first decent hit. I mean, such a big difference when that crushing blow lands. Oh, typical. Okay, it might be worth just... although he's quite far away. Yeah, I think we can still do this. Let's bring the portal down. got those thawing potions, so when he does that little wave of cold, we can just remove the cold immediately. Much tougher fight than I thought it was going to be. And now we've got the crushing blow gloves, I thought this would be a really walk in the park. Oh my gosh, down to 21 life there. Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked at how difficult this is, because the run up to this point was much easier than I was led to believe. Maybe I was quite lucky with some of the jewels and stuff I found, but this guy just seems like an absolute tank. And I'm not landing that crushing blow at all. I get it's only 7%, and you can see the X's. I always make sure you have that like miss indicator on, just because I think it's quite useful to see it. But just a patient war of attrition. Magic Fine Gear on. This is always risky. So many tentacles being spawned as well. I can't see a way in there without getting hit by a few of them. It's only a few punches to destroy the tentacles, but there's no benefit. Oh, nice little charge move there. Fanaticism aura out. The epic zoom in. Come on, hit! It's just 10 hits in a row, all missing. Come on! So close to death now. Come on. Yes, we got him.
You shall no longer take
Very satisfying death, that one, I've got to say. And look, tough. It makes me really worried about nightmare difficulty, I've got to say. But I will say, that wasn't nearly as tough as people told me it would be. I've had much harder runs, I've got to say, guys. And actually, very decent. That's a tri-resist belt with fast hit recovery and life. Yeah, that's a really good find. Yeah, pleased with that. So let's have a look at some of the equipment we've got here then. So pretty rare I find more than one of a set, and Cleglaws is quite an interesting one to get, one I could actually use. A few random jewels and stuff here, with Magic Fine Gear, which is pretty good. Like odd jewellery, like interesting-ish helm there, like self-repairing ethereal helm there, which I thought was quite good because it's socketed too. Never really used much in the way of runes, but I think we're probably going to have to rely upon that for the later on. And then look, let's get straight to the pub. And nicely the sun went down almost immediately, so we had the nice mood lighting. We'll go through some of the equipment that I've got here. So we needed one source of poison just to stop monster heal, and that was a pretty decent one. Fire resist 14, I mean that could probably go actually. Attack rating again, that might be a bit outdated at this point. Just a few random like extra damage charms. Some of these might feel a little bit redundant at this point. Crafted gloves with the crushing blow. I can't believe we're still using that. Probably one of the first rings I found. Cathans. Yeah, not great. There's a lot of stuff that could be improved here massively. This was insane though. 1 to 73 lightning damage. And yeah, this was quite good fun to make as well. But that, I mean, the gem Taj was just ridiculously good. Adds 2 to 5 damage. Yeah, it made a massive difference. Maybe I was very lucky with those jewels and that's why the run was so easy. Strength at 70, pretty standard. Dexterity and Vitality probably needed a lot of improvement. Block chance was 33%, but actually went up to 45. And that's with that crappy old Taj, so that's really good. Vitality definitely needed a lot more, and yeah, I mean, naturally be pumping that a lot more. We had this other shield on the offhand, but I mean, the damage reduction was pretty significant. Cleansing aura, man, I've never used prayer before, I'll be honest, but yeah, I've really liked it, and I think fanaticism and kind of cleansing will be the way to take this into Nightmare. Sacrifice got into a really good place as well. We're down to as much, only 3% damage to self as well, but yeah, prayer I absolutely loved. I'd love to do more. So yeah, prayer, fanaticism. Finish getting sacrifice points, and then the last few points maybe putting into Holy Shield. So I've ordered some drinks for the table. Wait for the lads to turn up. Thanks to all of you for watching. Like, I really appreciate it. Feel free to buy me a drink using the super thanks. But like, if you enjoy it, just like, comment, means a lot, and like, look forward to seeing you all in the next one.